Hi everybody, I'm Corliss Nelson of Corliss Nelson Woodworks. Recently I've been working on a mandolin that I got off eBay. It had a collapsed top, and in the previous video I talked to you about that. What I'm doing now, I was waiting on some clamps that would fit on a mandolin that has F-holes, and it came in yesterday. So this morning I spent time getting everything all set up so I could put the glue in and use these clamps to close one of the tone bars or braces in the top. And so this video is going to be about that. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Unfortunately, the video portion of this is kind of fuzzy. I'm going to be cutting back and forth between video of the outside and video of the inside, which is clear. The inside video is clear. Right now I'm just adding some glue to the little contraption I made. I'll show a picture of that. I'll inset that here someplace. But anyway, it is just regular original Type Bond glue, and I just left to get some paper to put in there to protect the bottom of the mandolin from glue dripping on it. And so I'm just positioning it now. This whole project has gone pretty well. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been on the upper end by the fingerboard, and that would have been a little tougher to get into. But having them down here by the bottom of the F-holes, these bars are easier to get at. Here I'm struggling to just get oriented because everything is backwards to what you're seeing, and so it's kind of awkward to figure out, get the lay of the land, so to speak. So I'm kind of feeling my way around before I put any glue in to just make sure that I'm kind of in the ballpark. This base bar doesn't go all the way to the edge of the mandolin, so I have to find where the end is, where it starts, and then you see me there starting to put in a little bit of glue, and still struggling a little bit to get oriented to my tool that I don't have a whole lot of experience with. It's been fun. The whole project has been fun and not too difficult. Here I'm getting a little more confident in where I'm going, and it really makes a big difference being able to see what you're doing. So if anybody is really interested in doing this kind of repair work on instruments, you really need to be able to see what you're doing with an inside camera, because it's pretty crazy to try to maneuver inside these little instruments, especially with the F-holes, which gives you a whole lot less latitude as ways you can go about it. But you can see here that that little gadget that I made with a little tip on it is able to get inside pretty much where the glue needs to go. Constantly having to reposition the camera, because the camera was, for as close as I was, I had to be pretty close to the lens had to be pretty close to the bar, so I had to keep positioning it. And here I'm putting in clamps just so I can kind of pull on that board a little bit, make it move around a little bit, because it's the glue's in there, but it's not evenly spread. So I'm just kind of pulling on that bar, pulling it up and down with a clamp, and you can see that it's able to move that glue around inside and spread it evenly so that it's going to make good contact with the top. And then once I get that done, I just go ahead and put the clamp in. Make sure I've got the right one that I'm going to put in there. Can't remember if I put this one in or if it was another one. I'm kind of explaining to the audience that I'm in this audio that you can't hear, that I put a little piece of leather on that because it was just bare metal, and put that on with Type Bond Original, and just squeezed it down with the screw to hold it in place while it dried, and it seemed to work pretty well. So as you can see, these little clamps are awesome for this in this application, because they go in there very easily. In fact, you can get more than one clamp, as you will see here shortly, in place. And that's a real, well, the job would have been virtually impossible otherwise. As far as I'm concerned, it would be extremely difficult to use those little sticks like I talked about in the first video that some people talk about doing, but it just seemed to me that that'd be a tough way to go. And this is a whole lot easier, and these clamps appear to be strong enough to hold. I was worried about that, and it still is a concern because they don't have a whole lot of holding power. There's nothing like a regular C-clamp, a hard metal C-clamp, but I think they're going to get the job done. Here I'm kind of selecting which one I need to use. First I tried this small one, and I wanted to get it a little closer down by the end of the bass bar where most of the force is going to be on the instrument. So I think I decided to use a little longer one that I could get in a little deeper, be a little closer to the other opening. Gotta have that piece of leather under there. And that's pretty much it. Just tighten those guys down, and I'm hopeful that that bar won't go anywhere when it dries real well. We'll leave that on there till tomorrow at least, and then work on the other one. It's going to be a little tougher because it's in a little deeper. So, but I'm hopeful that'll all work out.